So, some media houses and reporting agencies are trying to twist the beautiful homily of Pope Leo XIV on open borders and political nationalism on Pentecost Sunday. However, his comments on borders were related to spiritual divisions between people, while his comments on political nationalism clearly refer to war zones such as Gaza and Ukraine. Here is Pope Leo XIV's homily on Pentecost Sunday. The Spirit opens borders, first of all, in our heart. He is the gift that opens our lives to love. His presence breaks down our hardness of heart, our narrowness of mind, our selfishness, the fears that enchain us, and the narcissism that makes us think only of ourselves. The Holy Spirit comes to challenge us, to make us confront the possibility that our lives are shivering up, trapped in the vortex of individualism. Sadly, oddly enough, in a world of bourgeois social media, we risk being ever more alone. Constantly connected, yet incapable of networking, always immersed in a crowd, yet confused and solitary travelers. The Spirit of God allows us to find a new way of approaching and experiencing life. He puts us in touch with our inmost self beneath all the masks we wear. He leads us to an encounter with the Lord by teaching us to experience the joy that is His gift. He convinces us, as we just heard in Jesus' words, that only by abiding in love will we receive the strength to remain faithful to His word and to let it transform us. The Spirit opens our interior borders so that our lives can become places of welcome and refreshment. The Spirit also opens borders in our relationship with others. Jesus tells us that this gift is the love between Him and the Father that comes to dwell within us. We then become capable of opening our hearts to our brothers and sisters, overcoming our rigidity, moving beyond our fear of those who are different, and mastering the passions that stir within. The Spirit also transforms those deeper hidden dangers that disturb our relationships, like suspicion, prejudice, or the desire to manipulate others. I think too, with great pain, of those cases where relationships are marked by an inherited desire for domination, an attitude that often leads to violence, as is shown tragically by numerous recent cases of femicide. The Holy Spirit, on the other hand, brings to maturity within us the fruits that enable us to cultivate good and healthy relationships, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. In this way, the Spirit broadens the borders of our relationships and opens us to joy and fraternity. This is also a critical yardstick for the Church, for we are truly the Church of the risen Lord and disciples of Pentecost. If there are no borders or divisions among us, if we are able to dialogue and accept one another in the Church, and to reconcile our diversities, and if as Church we become a welcoming and hospitable place for all. Finally, the Spirit also opens borders between peoples. At Pentecost, the apostles spoke the languages of those they met, and the confusion of Babel was finally resolved by the harmony brought about by the Spirit. Whenever God's breath unites our hearts and makes us view others as our brothers and sisters, differences no longer become an occasion for division and conflict, but rather a shared patrimony from which we can all draw and which sets us all on journey together in fraternity. The Spirit breaks down barriers and tears down the walls of indifference and hatred because He teaches us all things and reminds us of Jesus' words. He teaches us, reminds us, and writes in our hearts before all else the commandment of love that the Lord has made the center and summit of everything. Where there is love, there is no room for prejudice, for security zones separating us from our neighbors, for the exclusionary mindset that tragically we now see emerging also in political nationalisms.